Hello again, this is Jeff of Tau Flare Mouse. We have another episode of You Make It, We Mock It, where we allow our viewers become kind of aerodynamic ballistic engineers, and we get to show off their creations to you. Today we have another design by the legendary Evan Perry. This is his 45th design he has submitted to this channel. Evan designed this to accept a 27 caliber powder actuated blank in the nose. And I think that'll be rather exciting to see how that affects the reaction to the targets. Now, one thing that Evan's particularly good at is creating self-stabilizing slugs. They don't need any rifling, in other words, no spin. This design has no hollow skirt like a Diablo pellet. Now, as it's flying, even at supersonic speeds, if it begins to tumble, it'll automatically correct itself. That the skirt at the back will kind of catch the wind or the shockwave and keep it on course. And you'll actually be able to see that occurring in our test today. Now, this is made out of zinc or pot metal, so it's not particularly heavy. 23.6 grams, 0.83 ounces. It's that powder actuated blank that's going to make the difference here. For the test, we'll be using a two-piece discarding Sabot. Some people call it a Sabot, other people call it a Sabot. We'll be using two different powder loads today. Half of them will be loaded with 15 grains of E3 and the other half with 20 grains of E3 propellant. The reason for the lighter powder load is because I'm worried that this very thin wasp-waisted center section may actually compress or break from the shock from being fired. 5 of the projectiles are loaded with the lighter powder load. The other 4 are loaded with the very hot powder load. Failures are always a possibility. If the hot loads are just way too much power and cause breakage, well, at least the lighter loads will give us some successful flights. Let's get out there and test them.
Everybody, welcome back to Tau Flare Mouse. My name is Shane and I am your launch director for today. And we are shooting the injectors from Evan Perry. And our first target today is a big old fat gummy bear, and I'm gonna try and blow his head off this time.
He hasn't been hit in the face yet, so.
No, not yet.
That's perfect. Let's get it before he falls over again.
You ready?
Yep.
Oh, safety. Sir.
Oh, fantastic. I even saw some smoke. Hey, good sign the slug did not break apart.
Yeah,
I was worried about that, the stem breaking, but he made it plenty strong. I've seen where the slug will actually collapse at that point.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, point of aim, just a little bit low, hit high up. The blank did ignite. You can see the black residue on the inside. And it stayed together coming out, though.
Yeah. So, probably shot that blank out the front. That's what I'm hoping it'll do.
Now we can see that the projectile is rocking back and forth like I explained earlier. We can see a little bit of smoke coming from the actuator device. Overall, I was pretty excited that everything worked. It didn't break. Accuracy was pretty decent. Every projectile, as I've mentioned before, has its own ballistic signature, and Shane will have to adjust for that.
Up next, we have the vegan meat block. Supposed to simulate, shooting meat without shooting meat, obviously.
It's too expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to be eating this, it's made up of catalogs and everything. Pretty soon we're going to be eating that stuff. But
oh, I don't even trust the meat these days. But yeah, this is going to be our simulated deer meat.
Yeah, it's like if you shot a deer in the side, just give you an idea.
Yeah.
Cheap target. We're the king of cheap. A lot of people don't realize that, how cheap we are, but we've got to use cheap targets when you're poor.
I am far from rich.
Yeah. Wow.
Nice.
That's pretty good.
That was impressive.
Wow.
Shane hasn't adjusted his aim yet. That way we can get an idea of the consistency of the shots, the overall precision. But I'm really impressed with that crater in the front of that target. That's something we don't normally see with any kind of slug.
Hey, not a bad shot. I think we're going to have to start adjusting down a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Flying up, maybe an inch high.
Right.
It 100% went through.
Wow. Can you see all the way through it?
Nope.
Let's open it up,
All right.
start peeling back that onion and to see if anything exciting is happening.
This hole is just impressive. The cavity is is enormous.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, it didn't fragment or anything like that, apparently. But
no, definitely not.
When we shoot the block of gel, it's going to be kind of revealing of what it might do inside.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it, simulated meat target. Impressive and fun to shoot.
Budget.
Yeah, budget. Poor.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, hit it. Not bad. Not bad.
Shabby.
Even with the light powder loads, we're getting some very impressive results. Velocity should be 1,200 feet per second or less. At these speeds, these would probably make very good personal defense slugs. And it's possible they'd have to be slowed down even more than that because we are getting some really good penetration with these, almost too much.
Well, it's still shooting high. Even though you started adjusting down. So this is getting frustrating, but it's not terrible accuracy,
No,
but
not at all.
we want to rein it in, rein it in.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Why? But yeah, no, that was great. Eliminated the first and second threat. The third one, he's still alive and kicking a little bit.
Not
but
quite, yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't hydro it. It slowed it down quite a bit.
Yeah.
I got to try to capture one of these for Evan because he always wants me to send him back some of the used ones, and I've got a bag full of them that I know he thinks I forgot about him, but I haven't. I stare at that bag every day. It's like, man, it's like if we got, I'll just keep saving all these slugs and send them all back at once.
We got the tactical leg. It's literally just a pant leg full of sand right here on the spot.
You know what? We really are cheap. But it's an interesting target.
Yeah, absolutely.
See how these things go through a sandbag, essentially. Okay, I'm ready.
All right.
Damn.
Boing, boing, boing. I thought for sure our tactical ballistic pant leg full of sand would stop this round. It would probably stop a Foster slug pretty easily. Even this low power round managed to penetrate all that sand. That's quite impressive. I'm going to try to find that slug next time I go out there. I got to have something good to send back to Evan.
Oh, here's the entrance. No, pretty impressive, actually, a hole in the back, but
Yeah.
we blew the kneecap out
I thought we'd
pretty nicely.
capture it in there, Sand is a tough material to get through.
It really is. Sand
Yeah.
can be very dense.
That was about 8 inches of sand, Okay, clear ballistics bunny here. What will these rounds do to a rabbit? From very close range.
All right.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
Now the injector slug just might have a little too much power for hunting rabbit. Even this low power round. Let's watch it again. We can see it actuate a couple inches in. That little flash. And that created a massive temporary wound cavity that was the entire length of the rabbit. The cavity was so big that the cork wad and the gas seal just carried itself right behind that slug all the way through the rabbit. That was our last low power round. Next, we're going to be shooting the high power rounds with the 20 grains of E3, and that should get us velocities in excess of 1,600 feet per second. Now, the big question is, will the slug be strong enough to handle that kind of force?
Now we're using the high power 20 grain loads. All bets are off now. I don't know where they're going to hit. All right, send it. Oh, a little difference in sound.
Yeah. A little difference. It felt recoil too.
What happened, Shane?
Carnage. That is what happened.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. That thing just chewed this plate up, and you could see kind of right here in the center where the point from the blank hit.
Yeah, I kind of did a Did it push it in there?
Yeah, it kind of looks like it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was hoping it would do. You know, you got all that pressure pushing forward. It's got to go somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at how just rocky and just tore up this is compared to, you know, all the other shots that are smooth and bowled out nice.
Yeah, and it's all black from the powder actuation.
Yeah.
Not bad. Okay, we're losing light here.
Yeah,
So
we're trying to hurry up.
okay, the world famous sort of Talflator head. He has a can of corn, I think, in his head today. I think.
Cornelius.
Maybe it's peas.
3, 2.
Ah, I see stuff squirting out.
Yep. 3, 2.
I love how the glasses are there 1 second and a millisecond later they're just gone. What happened to them? Let's see what the Chronos shows us. Well, the injector slug really like these higher velocities. And fortunately, Evan built these things with enough strength to handle the kind of pressures and G-shock so they don't break. Luckily, I was completely wrong about them having the possibility of breaking, and I have no problem with that. What an impressive slug, though. Very lightweight, but delivers the energy of a much heavier slug.
Oh, that had to be perfect. Oh.
In this shot, Shane put the red dot right in the center, and it hit right in the center. That is a perfect watermelon shot. Once again, Evan has come through and created another fantastic slug. A slug that doesn't need spin. Adding spin isn't going to help anything. It's perfect enough.
All right. Oh, this is going to knock me on my ass.
Wow. Wow.
The injector is definitely in a class by itself. It's a very light slug made out of a hard material, has incredible penetrating power, but also dumps a lot of energy and through that block, which weighs about 17 pounds, right off the table. Normally a slug that penetrates that well will just leave the block on the table. It'll barely move it. It's almost unheard of to get both energy dump and penetration, but this slug did it somehow.
So what happened, Shane?
Awesomeness. That's what happened. It devastated this gel block, as you can see, but now you guys can actually, well, I mean, he shows you in the pre-video, but this is what we recovered, just half of it. This is my first time seeing what it actually looks like.
Right.
There's another half that is over here, but we also recovered the very end of the blank that was right here.
Yep. You see how much pressure is pushing on that thing.
Oh yeah, it just bowled the whole front of that.
Yeah, that was still in the block. The slug, of course, penetrated the block just completely. And what kind of surprised me is it had enough energy, it transferred enough energy to the block to flip the block and throw it quite a distance. Kind of like the rabbit.
3 feet, yeah.
Yeah. Usually when you have full penetration like that, you don't transfer much energy.
Yeah, usually it just whizzes right through.
Yeah, and that's what I was expecting, but yeah, we just dunked it in a bucket of water over here, washed it off, and we're good to go. Look at that, look how clean it is now.
Yeah, brand new.
But we are running out. That was our last one. I think they did great.
Oh,
I really
absolutely.
did. Evan, and again, he is the master of the self-stabilizing slug.
Yeah.
He's got that down. And we didn't even try it with a rifled barrel today.
No need to. I mean, smooth bore did wonderful.
It wouldn't have helped. It wouldn't have helped. It would have just been another. We probably would have missed a couple of shots. That ballistics would have changed so much that you know, it would have probably caused us to miss some shots. You know.
Yeah.
But
man, look at that sunset.
Yep. That's how close we're cutting it today. Finally cooled off enough today that we can come out and film. It's below in the high 80s today. It was in the 105 for the last almost 3 weeks, so we weren't able to film anything. But man, it's so much pleasant to film today.
Let's get this summer behind us.
Yeah, I'm done with the heat.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, thank you for having me out, Jeff. It's been a great time.
Yep, you did great. Until next time.